Furl 21 Get Some, and we're going to be here watching Armageddon Shadow play his Trap Tricks deck in Rated versus Blueburner. Now, Shadow plays a banishy, kind of just all on, you're not doing anything, control version of the build. So Blueburner's going to go first. Let's see, we don't know what deck he's on, this is Rated, and it's going to be Yosenju's. And we're turning this volume off because it is really loud. So volume is off, so it looks like we have the Yosenju L and 3 face. Now I'm expecting a secret move or two down there. And 1 card in hand. But obviously this is a very tempo-based deck. So there goes the full back row. And the massive 6 set. Wow, let's see Blueburner answer this. This is going to be a lot of fun. Expecting at least, and there goes the dark hole. Is this be an ice hand? Please be an ice hand, and it is the ice hand. And there goes a card in the back row, and there goes Yosenju L. And that secret move is going to stop it, but there goes the wiretap. So that'll shuffle the secret move into the deck. Secret move will go away and be negated, and ice hand will resolve, popping the Yosenju L, special summoning the fire hand. And that probably might just be GG right there. So that's a really hard blow on the Yosenju deck. So there's 16,000. If he's got any response, it's just going to turn into an ice hand. Unless it's a deep prison, which sees some play. But no, he's going to take it. Now, I don't know if Yosenjus typically play a way to pendulum summon in the control builds. We're going to see a pod duality here. We're going to see a comma 3, a card D, and a comma 1. I'm predicting in his hand position a card D, and there we go. We're going to send the comma 1 and the comma 3 back to the deck and shuffle those away. Now, Pod Duality is a fun card in this matchup because your effects normal summon each other, not special summon. And that means that you essentially have no drawback to the Pod Duality. So there goes the card D. And you really can't stop it. The breakthrough skill is going to negate it for the turn. And we can still tribute it, but the effect is negated for the turn. I don't believe breakthrough skill is while this is face up on the field. Up till the end turn. So there comes a Trap Tricks Murmilio. This probably looks like we'll grab a bottomless trap hole in the situation. I'm not sure what exact trap hole he's going to get, but I believe the deck does play the bottomless trap hole. A regular trap hole will be gotten. So that will stop the first one. And the Mind Crush naming trap hole, let's see if he calls it right. And there it is. Pretty hard to get that wrong. Glad he kept a card in hand so he could use that Mind Crush. And here comes the battle phase. We're going to see Trap Tricks Murmilio run over the card D for 800 damage. Hopefully. There it goes, 800 damage, and we're going to need another 16 from the fire hand. And this game is essentially all but over for Blueburner and the Yosenju list. So he's got 2 cards in hand. We know that it's not a card D because he used it. 2 back row and 1 card in hand, which means we probably see on another Mind Crush maybe. But so ice hand to defense, and here comes fire hand to defense. Here comes the Murmilio for 1600. Now I'm not sure about the play of moving him to defense. I understand that you are fighting off potential Mirror Force, but I would expect Blueburner to be sitting on 1 Yosenju in hand. So there's 2,400, 8,000. This game's going very much in Shadow's way. And there's the Pod Duality. So Yosenju's going to be digging here for a Yosenju card, hopefully. So comma 1, Fiendish Chain, and Pod Duality. So he's not grabbed the Pod Duality. That's a bad card to grab. So it's really between the Chain and the comma 1. So here comes comma 1 to hand with 2 back row to fight off a suite of 5. Now the no special summon clause I said earlier really doesn't matter here. And so we expect to see a 1 and 2 kind of hopefully run over punch. And will it happen is the question here. And here comes the comma 1. Hopefully we're going to see a comma 3 or a Sujik here. Maybe a comma 2, but I don't know if that's the best one to play in the situation. What the downside is right here is that Trap Tricks Murmilio has equal attack to comma. So he's going to need to find a creative way to get over and do some damage this turn. And effect is fine. Comma will special summon a Sujik, which can make comma a 2600, which will run over the Murmilio. And so we have a 2600 comma and compulsory escape device on comma 1. No, because okay. Sujik will resolve. Will become itself a 2000. And we'll run over the Murmleo. But I would like to see, after the declare attack, some type of shrink effect. But that'll be 400 damage. And there's the D-Prison. That should be GG in favor of the compulsory escape device and the wiretap. The compulsory gets shuffled into the deck. We're going to see Blueburner with a comma 1, 1 face down, and Shadow with a Fire Hand in hand, a Murmleo, and 2. And this should lock the game down right here on a monster. So we're going to set the Fire Hand again, 3 back row, so he'll put him at 1 away from GG. The Fire Hand can just run into something, and I'm going to say we're going to be pretty much going to game 2 here. And the Raigeki, oh, wow. That Raigeki is pretty brutal. Blowing up the field, but we will be seeing an Ice Hand coming in here. Actually, we will not be seeing an Ice Hand coming in here. We're unable to blow up a monster, so we can't trigger the effect. And the comma 1 will come in for 1600, but a Fiendish Chain will stop it from returning to hand and attacking. So it is now Shadow's turn. Shadow will draw 1 card and set it. And Blueburner, if he tops a monster, he can XYZ right here, but it will be 1 back row, and then Yosenju will stay on the board because its return to hand effect is negated by the Fiendish Chain. Shadow will summon Traptrix Dionata, which will let him, Dionia, we will let him target 1 Traptrix graveyard and special summon it. But I don't know why I didn't grab it. Oh well here. So we'll see a card Cardi, which will pick up for 2. So it's the end phase of the turn. We'll see a Pod Duality on Shadow's turn. We'll see a Lance, and a Dimensional Prison. I expect him to pick up the Dimensional Prison because it does shut down commas pretty hard, but I'm not the player, Shadow is. Alright, there comes the Dimensional Prison. Send 2 Lances back to the deck, which would protect his stuff from spell and traps, but he's really not that much of an issue here. So the Dionia will run over the comma for 100. I guess it will not run over the comma for 100. Okay, and we got a Fire Formation Tenki, which will let him search up a Beast Warrior from the deck. And that'll probably be a comma 2. Let's see what happens here. So Blueburner is at 800. So there goes Brotherhood of the Firefist Bear, which has the ability to, you can send a Face of Fire Formation spell or trap to pop a monster. So we can summon it, use the Tenki to pop up the Dionetta. So 1 monster on the field, alright. And if it deals damage, it lets you set 1 directly from the deck. So that'll pop that. That'll go away. Oh. That'll go away. So we have a chain sitting on comma. And, oh, I didn't even see the Fiendish Chain earlier, wow. So much for not looking. Anyway, we'll see Brotherhood Firefist Bear attack right into a Dimensional Prison. And there it goes. Bye-bye. So comma 1 sitting in defense mode with 2 back row. So it is a tie game right now, 4-4. There comes the Pot of Duality. Just needs to see something useful here. The Banisher Radiance, Forbidden Lance, and Thunder King Ryo. I think in this situation you grab the... I would grab the Thunder King, but that's me. Banisher Radiance is a pretty good thing here because I believe with Banisher Radiance you do get to go into emptiness and just you get a permanent emptiness. With neither deck really special summoning, that's not good. And here comes the Torrential Tribute blowing up the board, leaving it 3-2 in favor of Shadow. And we're going to draw a card here going into the... So it's 3-3, and Shadow's up by 1. If this is a monster, that could be GG, but it's not. I believe this is a monster light build on both players. So it's just, we're off to the races here. First one to find a monster is going to do it. And there's the face down, which leaves me believe that's probably a Fire Hand or an Ice Hand. Because I think everything in Shadow's deck can just punch over for game. Here comes Yosenju, comma 2. So here the 1-for-1s are very important. This is going to be a very tough game to play. So he gets the effect of comma 2 and flips an emptiness, so if that is an ice hand, this could be pretty bad. So there goes the ice hand. He gets the effect and will blow up Yosenju comma 2, but he is actually unable to use the effect because it does have a special summon clause in it. It's the summon is required. The pop is optional. Actually, I should probably let him know. Yeah, I'm just trying to maybe let him know. It's a little rules debate, so I'm just going to let Shadow know, and Shadow's going to, you know, it does suck that that's going to happen, but, you know, it is what it is. So I'm glad we have two players that are somewhat up on the rules here. Shadow's a little off, but, you know, a lot of players do make that mistake, and it's nothing uncommon. I know a lot of good players that make that mistake, and I know a lot of really good players that make mistakes like that. Wording's a little bit weird, but we're going to summon an Ice Hand. That's Forbidden Lance. We'll take 800 off it, so he's really stretching for damage here. That's going to put him down for 600. Put him at 200, and Sparks for game would be really nice. So we got 4 cards to 5. So we saw the comma 2 come out. The comma 2 comes out. Well, that'll let him special summon another monster. Normal summon another monster. And here comes a breakthrough skill. So it will not return to hand. And Yosenju Secret Removal will negate the breakthrough skill. And here comes the comma 2 effect. Special summon Sujik, which we saw really, really early in the game. And we could be looking at a Sky Blaster here to send the Ice Hand away. My prediction is going to go for Sky Blaster, but that's just me. But instead we're going to go for a Lightning Chidori, which is target 1 set card. But instead Traptrix Nightmare will send the Chidori away, and that should lock the game up for Shadow for game 1. And we're going into game 2. That was a long fought out game. Very well played on both sides. I did appreciate the little emptiness play. That was really nice. Now we're inciting overview of the game. I think Shadow came out swinging. He came out hard. Blueburner got a little screwed over in the draws, but he did have a lot of back row to protect his field. The one misplay I saw was I think Shadow could have punched a little bit for game when he drew and set the face down monster. I think that should have gone straight for the face. I think statistically your opponent's not going to have the answer, so you do have to just play into the odds in a situation like that, because Yosenju just can't OTK you, especially on that small field presence. He just kind of had to push for a game, but, you know, it did hurt him a little bit, but he came back, he ended up winning it in a long fought out game. And here we go into game 2. It's going to be Blueburner starting off first and Shadow going second. Let's see what Blueburner's going to do here. Now, I don't know about Yosenju's going first. It does let them go secret move for L, but giving up a card in such a efficiency requiring deck is not something I like to do. At least not when I'm given the choice. So we're going to see a Traptrix Murmillo grab a bottomless trap hole. So that's probably going to be set along with 2 if past history says anything. So there's 3 set, and we're going to see a 4 set. We're going to punch for 16 now. This will prevent. Now, what's cool about Traptrix is, especially Murmillo, is the unaffected by trap cards, trap holes, not trap, but trap hole. So he'll come in, he'll grab a kill spell, and he'll just punch in. It's kind of like a gadget for trap holes almost. So hole decks are good. Well, we've seen it happen so far, 2 games in a row. So Armageddon Shadow is going to punch again. Blueburner might be digging for that second card. That's the one downside with, is that you only get 10 keys. You really don't get a lot of Hold up, speaking of Tenkis, did I order my Tenkis for my deck? Anyway, we see Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Bear, which will be normal summoned here. Will be a 1700, I believe. At least that's what the way I see the play coming. Here comes the bear, and there goes the trap hole. So, bear goes to the graveyard. And man, thinking back after just ordering a bunch of stuff, I really need to check if I got those Tenkis. So the dark hole will take one card out, and that'll give a lot of card advantage to Shadow, which will be 7 cards. And Thunder King Rail will prevent Tenkis and Pot of Dualities. And that is going to blank a lot of cards in Blueburner's deck. And there's another 19, putting him at 29. This should be game for Shadow in the next turn or two. So Burner's going to be looking up, and there comes the Raigeki. That's a necessary removal spell here, because that could just blank him. See if this is a pot he's going to activate. Yosenju, 3 will come on the board, and there goes the bottomless trap hole, no effect even required. Yosenju Secret Moves will negate that, and that'll put 5 cards to 5 cards, but Kama's got a monster on board right now. Sorry, Blueburner's got a 3 on board. And let's see if anything happens here. I'm just going to go to end phase, not attacking. From what he's seen, that's been really good. Now, I said you shouldn't attack in, but considering the situation he finds himself in, he kind of needs to put some damage. But there's going to be 1900 from a Doom Caliber Knight, so the next effect will be auto-negated by the DCK, which is slang for Doom Caliber Knight. Interesting fact, Doom Caliber Knight was originally a promotional card given out at the Shonen Jumps back when they were played, and they were extremely expensive. They were, unlike Thunder King, which is optional, Doom Caliber is mandatory, which means if effect goes off, you have to tribute, you have to negate it. So he might force negate here just by summoning to get it off the board. And there's the back row set, and we could be looking at a fire hand or an ice hand here set. So this looks like it's going to be Shadow's match, 2-0, but let's see what we got here. He's got 4 back row to fight 4 off, and is this going to punch for game? And here comes the compulsory escape device and the Forbidden Lance, and that's going to be 1100 damage. And that should do it. That's 100 more than necessary. And that's it. GG. Armageddon Shadow wins it again. So a little post-match commentary, a quick 2-0, no, not a quick 2-0, but an interesting fast 2-0 we saw here. In both situations, the Trap Tricks deck, doing what it's supposed to, was able to just eke out small advantage here and here, control the board, and once it got that, and Yosenju being a deck which needs the tempo, you stop that pendulum, it's over. So, thanks for watching. This has been Furl21 on behalf of Armageddon Clan. Rate, comment, subscribe. And with that being said, I'm out.